This video will give you clear step-by-step guide how to manifest this one specific person in your life. More specifically, this video is for someone who wants to build long-lasting, stable, and loving relationship with this person. And if you're not interested in a long-lasting relationship, this video will still help you. However, it's likely not to bring the fulfillment that you truly want to have with this specific person. So let's get started. In short, there's two things you need to do. Internal, to be the match, and external, do the thing you say is a match for the thing you want to get. So obviously you already have found the thing you want to have, which is great. I want to congratulate you because there are so many people out there, they even have no clue what they want. At least you're miles ahead of them. So for you to get this one specific person, you have to be a match for them internally. How do you become a match? Well, let's start with a gap analysis. Like, where are you now and where you must be to be a match. And this is not considering that they have to become a match for you. This is considering only you both become a match to each other. How that specifically happens will be discussed in an external part, because you get to decide how much do you actually want to adapt to them to become a match for them. So the first, you need to know what is it that you want. What of them you like. You need to know what you want. Because if you don't know what you want, odds are that you're going to end up somewhere you didn't really want it to end up. And caveat, if this one specific person is not meant for you, then by doing this analysis, you will manifest your person. By following this guide, you will manifest someone even better than this one specific person. And that's why it's really important to know what you like. And easiest way for you to figure out what is it that you want is to really look at this person and write down what do you like about them. Very simple. And from that, you will know what is it that you want. And then you can ask, what do they want? Because you truly want to be a match. You want to have an overlap between what is it that you want and what is it that they want. So there's an overlap, there's a match. However, maybe, and most likely, that there is no match at the moment. Is what you want and what they want is apart. So there's no overlap. And this gives us information. I think something needs to change. It's unreasonable to ask them to change because we don't have control over that. We might manipulate and all those other things to basically force them into a change. However, that usually comes with a, let's say, unfavorable karmic consequences. And I don't recommend that. So instead, I say you change you, and because you can control that. And there's no unfavorable karmic responses from that. So yeah. And if you know that they want someone, let's give an example. Let's say they're into polyamory and you're into monogamy. Well, there's apparently not a match. Well, there's a simple choice. Something needs to be let go, something needs to change. And could be that you decide that you must become a match to polyamory for you to have this match, because you can change that. You could have a conversation with them to explore as well. Maybe they're open to change, but you cannot control that. You can encourage, you can influence it, but that's not something you can control. And I'm here for certainty. So when I'm talking about manifest this, I'm creating a certain path to make it a reality so that it's impossible for you to fail. So if you want to make it impossible for you, for this person not to be in your life, then you have to become a match what they want. Very simple. You have to become a match or at least you have to be willing to become a match. Because if you're not willing to become a match for what they want, then you put this high pressure on them to do all the work for you, which is really difficult, and odds are that they're not gonna do it unless they have an incentive, large incentive to do it. Therefore, it's much more reasonable to assume, let me do the work for them so it's really easy for them to become a match for me. Basically, they don't change, I do all the work, uh, I do the delivery basically. It's like, yeah, it's basically like pizza delivery. Instead of you going out to the to a restaurant to order pizza and eat it there, you just call them up and they deliver to your doorsteps. So this is the kind of experience you want to have them, because but in this case, you're the one who's doing delivery. So you're the one who's showing up with the pizza at their place. So delivery is done. Like, you become what they want. Very simple. Know what they want, become what they want. And for fulfillment, you also need to know what you want. And ideally, you become what they want because you want that, because that's what you want. And that's a really beautiful thing to do. Again, the next one is examine your beliefs. So if you want to manifest this specific person, that implies that they're already not in your life. Why wouldn't they be in your life? Because there's a gap. Where's the gap? Maybe it's in what they want, or maybe it's in your beliefs. So let's examine in three aspects: self-image, their image, and their image of you. And this is very precise. Imagine your self-image and see if you see yourself being with them. Can you see yourself being with them and being happy, excited? Does this feel easy? This is your self-image. And if you have any resistance, those are beliefs. And if you want to have easy way of manifestation, because that's what I'm here about, I'm always helping my clients to manifest their reality with ease, grace, and flow. So it's fun, easy. And that's what I recommend. So if there's any resistance, remove the belief, because that's the easy work. Yeah, if you cannot see yourself being with them, if you cannot see yourself approaching them, speaking with them, doing all the activities you want to do together, then it's a belief. Change that, work on that until you have it. Of course, yeah, of course I can see them. Now, once you have that, what's their image? Can you see them liking you? Can you see them being with you? So now it's not as much about can you see yourself being with them, it's about can you see them being with you as well? So do you feel any resistance? Again, this is next level. Do you see them? Of course, yeah, that person, when they refer to you is, yeah, of course, I like them, or whatever the relationship you want to have, you can see them with you. And the final one is, how do you see them seeing you? So now not only you can see both of you together, but you see harmony between you. They actually feel like, I feel happy, loving, I feel like really aligned to be with this person. And by end of this exercise, ideally, you see, if you've done this to the max, you see yourself as being the best thing for them. That's what self-image basically stands for. I'm the best person for them. Period. The end. I have full conviction, and of course I am the best person for them. It's not coming from some arrogance, it's kind of a matter of fact realization. Yeah, I feel certain we're a match. I'm the best person for them. When it comes to their image, like, of course, they are the best match for me as well. Like, I feel the ideal person for me. And that's why we're together, are the best match for each other. And we both agree on that. And I can see them seeing me as being the best match for them. So it's a, yes, I am the best match for them. Yes, they're the best match for me, but this is coming from your own perspective. And finally, you want to see them. Yeah, they see you too as being best match for them. So this might be a bit of a tongue twister, but it's really for you to understand distinction between these three things. Let me go again. You see yourself, so this is happening in your mind, as the best match for them. So you feel confident. Yeah, of course I'm the best match. Then you see them being as the best match for you. So therefore, what this is, again, this is happening in your mind. You see them as being the best match for you out of all the people in the world. They are the best match for you. Again, this is your opinion. You believe that this is a match. And the final part is that you believe that they also believe that actually the same thing. Let's go a bit deeper. You believe that they believe. So now it's you believe that what could be happening in their mind is that they see themselves as being the best match for you, and they also see themselves as so they also see you being as best match for them. So it's again a flip mirror image, and you have a harmony. This is when you go to the max, these beliefs, and this is what you should see as a result. It's a mirror image. You're a perfect match. Obviously, sometimes it's not always the fastest and most fun way how to get to the manifestation process. However, ideally, if you want to guarantee, once you're here and in a complete agreement that in your heart, not in your mind, not your friend trying to convince yourself in there, you feel it with your whole body, in your heart, in harmony. It feels right, it feels good, and it feels true. And it's the most natural thing for you. So once you're done with your internal work, you also have to make sure you do also the external work. And this is not exclusive. It's not like I need to do the perfect match inward and then I do the perfect match outward. These happen in parallel. I'm just distinguishing them as separate for clarity's sake. So now that you know what needs to be done inside, let's see what needs to happen on outside. So first of all, first question I ask my clients when they come to me with this kind of question is, do they know you exist? What do they know about you? And sometimes answer is, well, they actually haven't noticed me or something along those lines. And then my question is, okay, so if they don't know you exist, how are they gonna realize that you're the best thing for them? How is this manifestation gonna happen if there hasn't been a conversation yet? Well, have the conversation. You cannot control, again, this is not about perfect, this is about certainty. And it's a certainty that you have to have a conversation with this person to have them in your life. It's a certainty. Well, actually, it's not a certainty, but I can imagine scenarios where it does not need to happen. However, if they're to remain in your life, there has to be some kind of communication. Let's say it like, let's expand the definition of conversation to communication. And in that case, communication is certainty. Whatever the scenario, even if you don't talk, because you can have all kinds of relationship with people without speaking with them ever. However, you do have to communicate. So let's change it. Let's call it communication, which is more precise. You do have to communicate. Communication is needed. Again, you could wish for the rest of your life to do all the internal work to become so magnetic, so awesome that they finally see you and they take the first step. Well, you're allowed to do that. However, this is not a guarantee, and this could be a very lonely, miserable life if you choose this path, potentially. Or it could be really fun and engaging. I don't know. However, to make it a certainty, I do encourage, take the first step. Initiate the communication. Initiate actual conversation with this person. You can do that. And if you feel like not doing that, then you may ask yourself, why not? Is there any belief there which says, well, if there's a fear-based belief, then definitely change that, because that's indication that there's not a match. However, I've also worked with women who genuinely want to be so magnetic that men get attracted to them. Totally fine. However, when this happens, part of magnetism is also non-attachment. So when you are trying to manifest someone specific in your life, then you also have to be detached, in a sense. You're okay with them reacting and you're okay with them not reacting, because becoming attached to a specific person becomes unmagnetic and unattractive, in a sense. So this comes with a price, and it then comes with a second part, which is do what's necessary, because once you know what needs to be done, just do it. Again, have a conversation. If you don't feel like initiating, why? Find a reason why, and if it's fear-based, then just do it because you know it's come from a limiting place. If it's not fear-based, then realize that you might need to release the desire, need, or attachment, which could be unhealthy, to have this specific person in the first place. And why would you actually insist to have this specific person in the first place when you can have something 10 and 100 times better? Who person in their right mind would want to settle for less? I know some people in relationships play this argument, and they can sound very convincing that yes, this is the case, but let's explore this in a different scenario. Let's say money. Why would you settle for $10 when you could get $10,000? Like, there's no other difference in you receiving, let's say it's a lottery. Very simple example. You buy a lottery ticket and you can choose, you can pick. It's your, like, this is a very strange lottery, but let's imagine you buy a lottery ticket and you win a lottery and you get to pick. You have given a choice, get either $10 or $10,000. And some people like, there must be a catch. And they assure you there is no catch. We just, like, it's kind of an experiment. It's a maybe there was this wealthy person who's doing this research, and they really want to know who is so stupid in this world that they would settle for $10 instead of taking 10,000 when they have a choice. There's no other negative consequences apart from what consequences they create for themselves as receiving money or spending the money. And yes, there are many people in this world that are far better off having $10 instead of $10,000 because of attachments, addictions, and all these things. So it is actually in their best interest to have less money for that specific period of time. And that's a fair choice. However, if you consider yourself healthy and evolved, and let's say healthy, why would you choose less? Why would you choose 10? I see no reason why to choose less unless I'm having some kind of limiting beliefs, fear-based thinking, and makes no sense. I would go immediately 10,000. Give me here, like this bank account, cash, I take all. How do you want to deliver it to me? Now, like, and the same thing happens here in relationships. If you knew for a certainty, and it is a certainty, these or something better, you can get this person or someone better. If you follow these steps, you get either of those two. And in order for you to get this or something better, you have to be open to something better as well. Can you do that? And that is what is necessary. This openness for something better, while might actually be the one thing that you need to do to actually land this specific person and manifest them in your life. Because this is a key. If you're not willing to open yourself up for possibilities and being receptive. The manifestation may not work for you because, again, you can manifest masculine way and you can manifest feminine way. So masculine way for externally to manifest this specific person would be I go do all the things I can do. I take all the initiations, which is something where I mentioned into have the conversation. That's masculine way. And then you just do everything you can do that is unreasonable for them to say no. It's like sending 1,000 love letters or 3 love letters every single day. Like making such a huge, enormous efforts that by end of 20 years of relentless efforts, they suddenly just fall for you because of the sheer devotion you have devoted for them. Like it just inspires them so much that they just like break and it's like, yes, yes, yes. If you're not willing to devote yourself for 30 years, 20 years, or till both of you are past this existence, past this realm, then you're not actually willing to pay the price. And that's the masculine approach. You have to be able to do everything beyond reasonable so that they say yes to you. That would be the masculine way. Feminine way would be becoming so magnetic, so attractive, so open that it feels unreasonable that they wouldn't want to have you in their life. And once you get to the place where you feel like they would be stupid to say no to me, they would be stupid not to even see me, they would be stupid to yeah, this is kind of not the best word, but it would be unreasonable. I cannot imagine them not being, they haven't noticed me. I cannot even imagine they don't secretly desire me. Like, it's unimaginable. They must have some kind of trauma or something that must be going something on their side that they haven't been here yet. Let me become so magnetic that it's so painful for them not to be with me that they're willing to heal themselves to be with me. It's like that would be the kind of extreme feminine case. Like let amp up my presence, my magnetism, my openness, my willingness to let go of everything, that it's just unimaginable that they wouldn't be here. There's no other way. And I admit in this portrait there's also masculine energy in there everywhere, and that's totally fine. I'm sure you can find your own ways. However, this does open your imagination to what's actually possible. And part of this feminine is actually openness. Are you open to possibilities? Are you open to them coming to you in 20 years? Are you open to any timeline? Are you open to someone else being there even better? So these are all open possibilities you have to consider. And that's the price you may need to pay to actually have them in your life. And again, are you willing to do the work? Are you willing to do what's necessary? And if you're not willing to do what's necessary, then go back to the first stages and ask, okay, if I'm not willing to do what's necessary, then I'm actually not wanting this enough. So what do I want? And if you're not willing to do the work, then don't blame yourself for not getting what you want because you never actually wanted it in the first place. And if you didn't actually want it, then ask yourself, what do I want? And then devote yourself towards that. Because commitment will bring miracles in your life. And if you're not being served miracles, you're just not committed enough. Or you just haven't found something to be committed enough to. So then again, ask yourself the magic question, what do I want? Connect with your heart, go into meditation, and have it magical. Follow these steps, follow the system, and you will manifest this person. There is no guarantee on a timeline. Time doesn't exist. However, this will accelerate your process to the bare minimum. If you do the internal work, if you do the external work, it's unavoidable. It's impossible for you not to have this person in your life as long as you both are alive. Things happen. However, this is a short strategy. Do what's necessary. Do it with fun and love and have it magical.